Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Right on. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, John Harcar, and I'm here today with Terrence Lewis. And we're going to talk about creating partners, not students. Remember, guys, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, and really all real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x your business. And by giving you the tools and the resources to create your own business, you're able to build the life that you wanted to live. Terrence, welcome to our show.
Thank you, good sir. Thank you, good sir. It's good to be here.
Yes, man. I'm looking forward to talking about creating partners, not students. It's an interesting topic to discuss. But before we get into the weeds of all that, tell our audience a little bit about who Terrence is, where you're from, how you got into real estate, and how you got here.
Sure thing. 17 years, man. It's been a long road.
Wow.
But a beautiful world, man. Started off, I came from Riverside, California, man. Started off the same as everyone else, trying to go into college and figure that whole route out. Had no clue where I was going, kind of being the first in my family to dive into that level of education. Realized that I had really no direction, so joined the military. Okay, so
thank you for your service.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, so went into the armed services, did my time with the goal of getting money for education. That was my whole sole purpose of it. Yes, I love my country, but I was trying to get the education. So
right.
So I got that, right? Got the education, got out, definitely took advantage of it, got all the way up to a master's degree. I'm kind of torn about that because most of everything I've created in my life really didn't come from education. And I know I like to speak to those out there that don't really feel that education is that best route, because I'm self-taught in what I mastered today, which is real estate investing. And so got out, and immediately, while I was still in the military, I started investing in multifamily properties, which started off with the house hacking piece, right? So house hacking, for those that don't know, is basically utilizing either a single family property or a duplex or threeplex, something to where someone else is paying 75% or more of your mortgage, right? So you got an extra garage nowadays, you got turning them into ADUs for additional income for Airbnb. You've got backyard space. They've got apps out now where you can rent your pool out in your backyard. So there's a lot of ways to offset that income. So dived into multifamily properties. After that, I just started diving right into fixing and flipping. And I've got pictures of me earlier in my younger ages of 20 years old, while everyone else was playing video games and buying the new Jordans. I was in there tearing up properties, trying to figure out how to put them back together. Literally.
Let's go.
So after that, I realized, hey man, I'm making more money in real estate investing. Unfortunately, went through an experience 2008 and lost it all. Everything.
I was thinking, you said 17 years. I'm thinking, man, this guy started right when it all just.
Yeah, 2006 I started. I had upwards to 1.2 million in real estate. And when I'm telling you it dropped like a rock, it dropped like a rock. But what a lot of people nowadays, that when I was doing that, and crawling back.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Into 2010 and 2012, 13, a lot of these people that are investing in real estate now were 16 and 15 when I was experiencing that crash. So now when interest rates adjust and move, we know now as experienced investors, we just know how to pivot. Like we
exactly.
Do new construction, or we're going to go back to fix and flip, or we're going to go into buy and hold, fix and hold. But so that's
how did you pivot? I mean, I like to ask people, especially in that time, how did you pivot? And if you obviously took a pretty big hit.
I took a big hit, but what I did was I realized I need to learn how money works, how the financial lending side of works. So I think one thing that I see myself standing above a lot of other people is that I could tell you how to take a traditional mortgage and buy investment properties. I could tell you little tricks and nuances like, hey, you don't know this, but people are like, why would someone let me take over a mortgage payment from them? Well, 12 months after you making those payments, they now can qualify as if that is not on their mortgage or not on their credit report. So little tricks to the trade now. So that's how I pivoted. I moved into lending. I became a real estate lender, a mortgage lender.
Okay. Yeah. So you were lending money? Were you buying creatively or what were you doing?
So I took some time off from real estate investing because obviously I had to file a BK. You got to bounce back from that. So now you got to learn about. Before I was using traditional mortgages to invest in real estate. Yeah. So now I'm starting to advance into using hard money lenders, which everybody has access to. I'm now moving into private money investors, which we'll talk more about that with Partners Not Students, giving people the opportunity to partner with me. But moving more into the non-traditional stuff, but still at this point, I just kind of went back to the not necessarily 9 to 5, but as an individual contractor, helping people get traditional mortgages. So now I know, as an investor, I know how traditional mortgages work, what are kind of the loopholes within that, and I know how non-traditional mortgages work. So between those two, I'm pretty versed in getting access to capital.
Now, when you're saying non-traditional, are you talking about seller finance, sub 2, or those type of things, or what are...
All of that. Yeah, so that's how I got back into the game, right? So before my credit took a bounce back, I started doing subject twos, or what other people may know as lease options. So we'll find individuals that got their tax returns back, or they may have access to capital, but they just don't have the credit. Well, me having experience in a lending background, I can look at you and I can look at your credit. I can say, you're 2 years out, buddy. You're 2 years out. So what we could do is this person needs to get out of their property at this price. I can get you in it at this price, and I can make something off the spread, basically. So the owner will keep the mortgage in their name because they've got to move out of town, they get relocated, or they just lost their job and they can't afford it no more. So instead of experiencing that foreclosure, I can take over and assume that new mortgage and reassign that to somebody at a more favorable terms for myself and them.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. And when you were in, I wanted to ask you this a minute ago, but you were going off on some good stuff. I didn't want to stop you. How did you even get into get the idea of real estate? You're educated. You went to college. You did all that. I mean, you went to the military, and then you educated yourself. I mean, where did real estate pop into your head?
Man, so start off, I'm a D student at best. If I got a C, we're going out for pizza. That's just my history, right? Right. So that's just start there. So education was never my forte. It wasn't until I got to the military that I realized, like, hey, you're not actually dumb. You just wasn't excited about that. So I picked up a book while I was in the military. I picked up a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Rich Dad, Poor. I knew there had to be a Rich Dad, Poor Dad story in here.
Yeah, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, man. And love it. It's so driven because it just really breaks down the flow of how money should work instead of it coming in and then going out because your car payments and your liabilities comes in, goes into an asset like real estate.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Now, if I want that yacht or I want that car, I want that house, let's let the real estate pay for that
Yep.
liability, right?
Yep.
And we just learn a different trend of money. People think you got to make a lot of money. I retired at 35, right? And people think you got to make a lot of money to retire. You just have to have your expenses at a certain number and your income at a certain
Your
number,
freedom number.
and you're free.
Yeah, it's your
You
freedom
know?
number, right? You got to make sure that if I got 5,000 in bills and I'm getting 5,000, passive income from my rentals, well, then it's offset. I can retire. I got everything I need
Exactly.
paid.
Yeah, and realizing that a lot of the stuff that's dangled in front of your face is a trap. The bags, the car, it's all set there because it's going to depreciate. So it's all set in motion so you could stay suppressed, below that threshold. So once you start learning how to life hack, I have $100,000 RV, but it gets rented out for the payment is 770. It gets rented out on RV share for $2,200 a week.
Yeah.
So learning how to offset your lifestyle like that instead of living for liabilities, right? You got to
Okay,
make
so
that
you picked up this Rich Dad Poor Dad book, and then you just said, "Hey, I'm gonna go house hack."
I literally was called a trigger puller because unlike some people, I understand that it's hard. You could take them to the water, but it's hard to make them drink. I
Mhm.
didn't have that problem. I was a trigger puller. Like, what? We're doing it? How? Let's do it, right?
Yeah, let's figure the
So
rest out later. Let's just go.
yeah, let's go. Like, hey, let's get into it. I mean, yeah. So I did a lot of the creative stuff. I renegotiated terms on property. So I was in Brunswick, Maine at this time when I was at that base, and I realized for some reason brown houses wasn't selling.
Hmm.
And the other thing I realized too is that what people can't see, you can create for them. So an example is this seller is more than willing to give the closing costs to contribute to your closing costs. They're more than willing to come down the price, but you're too scared to ask them to come down $20,000 and
Yep.
contribute. But I'm
Yep.
not. So
Yep.
I will just negotiate those terms and sell those more favorable terms to the next person. So that's another way that I kind of came back into the game is just my girlfriend, she told me, one very important thing that kind of sticks with me. She's like, why? I had her watching the property. They were asking 240 for it. I was like, just keep watching it. She was like, why would they come down $40,000? After 3 months, they came down $100,000.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
I was
big
like,
time.
it's not your responsibility to figure out what they will and won't do. It's your responsibility to put the offer in and move on.
Yeah, well, and that's too. It's like when you talk to folks that have acquisitions guys or stuff, it's like, you know, go in there and offer 320. Yes, it's worth 600. Offer 320. Well, they're never going to take that. Who tells you that they're never going to take that?
Right.
Did they tell you that yet?
Yeah,
No.
exactly. That's not your
It,
business. Mind your
it's
business.
mindset.
It's
Mindset.
yeah.
Mindset's
It's mine.
big.
So
So
Rich
what
Dad
are
Poor Dad got my mindset shifted over to learning a different way of financially moving my money around and just living life. Even with the 3 grand I was making at the time, three, four
yeah.
grand. It wasn't like I had a lot of money. It's just if you learn the habits with the 3, 4 grand, when you get 5, 6 grand, it actually feels like more. When you get to the 10, 12 grand, it feels like more because you're moving it right.
Yeah. Well, and I think they need to make Rich Dad Poor Dad a book you have to read in a school. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
they don't teach the proper money education that you need because 95% of the stuff you really learn and you apply in life is outside of the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Exactly.
so tell me about some challenges, some mistakes, some kind of pitfalls you made getting into the business and some things that our folks should look out for.
Sure, sure, sure. Starting off, one thing that I always use an example in my trainings with my mentees is I've read even within Rich Dad Poor Dad, there's certain I understand how it feels to embody and just try to learn real estate or just anything new. You don't like, let's say you read 5 things, you don't know which one of those things are the most important or what's really prevalent to take away from this content, which is why it's important to consistently read the same material so you can, as you grow, you'll receive more from it.
Mhm.
But one thing I did realize that I read, and I remember to this day, I read it said start small, right? And I understand small is relative, but
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
starting small. That way, like things like when 2008 happened and your mortgage starts to adjust and go higher and your utility bills change and your all that's amplified the more you are in the deal, right? So, my biggest advice to people that I've learned over the span of time is when you start small, because just like when you go to college and you're willing to give up $30,000 to $80,000 for a real estate education, you or for a degree, you should be willing to do the same for your real estate education.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you learn what I know, you'll never be broke another day. So it's at what cost is that? What
Yep.
value does that give to you? So it's okay if you don't make out $50,000 on your first deal. I say your first three deals is your college education, and it's to be used as such. What mistake did I make, and what did I learn from that mistake? And if you keep making those adjustments, 3, 4 years of this business, and you'll never be broke another day of your life.
Yeah. No, and that's huge.
Yeah.
What
So
resources do you think there are some things that people should use, or who should they reach out to if they want to get into the business? Like how I mean, obviously you read Rich Dad Poor Dad. A lot of people might or might not have, but if they don't know anything else about the business, how do they find out?
I would say there's two things. You think of your brain as a cup. Fill your cup up until the point where you feel like you could teach other people. That's all you can talk about. So keep absorbing the information. But the other biggest thing is if you go to a desired area that's being gentrified and there's a guy like me driving around or a project manager driving around, volunteer your time, because I can't measure how much game I should give you because you keep helping me with going to drive-by properties and going to take pictures for me and going to get that contact number for me or get that lead for me. I can't measure it. I'm throwing all this game at you.
Yeah.
As much time as we have. I actually had a mentee that would fly with me to every event that I did. She even went on a vacation with me to Costa Rica with my family. She's like, I'm
Right
that
on.
flight time from here to there. She sat next to me with a notepad and a
Yeah,
book.
yeah, that's valuable.
Yeah. So if you can attach yourself to somebody, even on now that you have so many resources, you've got Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you've got a lot of people that are investing in real estate. And if you feel they have that level of knowledge that you need and you can learn from them, offer your time to that person and see if they'll be willing to educate you and give you some game because of that time that you're giving them.
Yeah, I mean, and like it always says, you got either time or you got money. If you don't got the money, then volunteer your time, put the time into it.
Yeah.
So, what does
That's
your
right.
business look like now? How many people on your team? What is your volume? Are you holding more, flipping more? What's your kind of thing going on now?
Sure. Like I said, I'm retired, so I've actually transitioned. The last 2 years, I moved to Puerto Rico. It's a really good safe haven for you can get a raise of 30, 40% by just moving to the state, just because
Mm,
it's there's no federal taxes and there's no short-term capital gains. So
right.
anything you do flip here, you don't pay short-term capital gains on. So I
Okay.
took the last 2 years off, but now we're ramped up. We're about an 8-man team right now, probably a little bit more than that. I've got a couple meetings today to bring some more agents on, but I'm actually moving into new construction. So
Mm,
there's two pieces to it. There's two pieces. Now that I'm in Houston, Texas is one of my markets, I'm moving into new construction of duplexes to keep as a portfolio and fix and flips, back into fix and flips. And I'm doing it for two reasons. A, I want to build the classroom of sorts because I'm also adapting a education program now. So
okay.
I'm starting to bring people in, and I like the one-on-one aspect, and I like the aspect of hands-on. Instead of the talkie-talkie,
Hmm.
come to one of my properties. Let me show you
Yeah, for sure.
why we use 12 gauge wire versus 10 gauge wire. Let me show you why we go 16 on center. Let me show you how we would mitigate, a duplex in that middle wall, and show you how we're going to keep why we would pay a little bit more to have sound density between these two walls so your tenants stay long term. right? Versus, oh yeah, you can build it for cheaper. So let's talk about those things. I like to be touchable to
Smart.
talk. And so it's the new portfolio is being structured for my son. He's 17 now, and he's always been 13, 6, 9, and watching dad do his thing. But now he's
Yeah.
17, he's getting ready to graduate high school. Now he can come and start cutting some checks, start doing draw schedules, start analyzing properties. So
Nice.
as he has the decision, his college is already paid for up to a master's. So as he walks into this new chapter of his life, he can decide which route. His mother went the doctor route. She's a dentist, and his dad is an independent investor, and he sees how much time we have for each other, and so he can kind of,
Yeah, yeah.
help run and see this part of it. I got the projects as a classroom of sorts for my new mentees coming on board, so they can get their hands-on piece, and it's back doing what I love to do. It's a passion anyway. So
Yeah.
three
Sounds like
check
it.
boxes for me.
I love it. I love it. So let's talk about kind of what our title was, creating partners, not students. Tell me a little bit more about that, and what the difference is of a partner versus a student for you.
Sure. I do have the student aspect where people may have minimal capital and they need to come in and want to just learn real estate education. But what I find is that this is where this triggered from. I was one of those people when you contact one of the bigger real estate education courses. I was the mentor here teaching you about real estate education. Those courses
Hmm.
where you pay 20, $30,000 for, right, as a coach. And what I realize is that I can teach you the concept of how to buy a property without any capital, but I can't give you conviction. And
Yeah.
that's what it takes. You got to talk me into it, right? So not talk me into it, but you got to make me believe that you can actually buy my three, four, $500,000 property. And that's what a lot of people left those courses paying that money, which was enough money to get started fixing and flipping. But now they're a little bit behind the curve because they paid so much money for the education course, and
Hmm.
now they only have that process of no capital into real estate investing. So my Partners Not Students program was born from that, where now I can help people get access to that capital, which is the same thing they would do if they went to one of these bigger programs. But now instead of you paying me to teach you, we're going to go on a deal together. We're going to become partners on a deal. I believe that I can make enough capital off of the deal to where instead of having to make the capital off you as the mentee or the student.
Right, right, right.
So from that investment into a deal, you got that hands-on accessibility, but now we're going to go through that one-on-one education together. That's your entry into the one-on-one education. And so I'll educate you through that whole process as we're in these deals together.
Hmm.
And on the other side, you get your capital back plus the return from that capital. And essentially, you got yourself a free real estate education.
Is there like I know you said you have some that just learn, but is there like a minimum someone has to come in when they're going to invest with you or do something like that?
Yeah, I would say meet me halfway. And meet me halfway is it's just like with your children. You give them something, they're going to tear it up. You make them earn it. You make them earn it. They got, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like I
Yeah,
don't
it
do it
lasts for
because
years.
yeah, so it's like I'm not doing it because we can't meet you further, but I think that's a
Sure.
good halfway point to meet me. Meet me at a 720 FICO score, meet me at 30, 40 grand, and I'll take you the rest of the way. If you're having trouble getting to that point, then you need to focus on that because getting into real estate, it's going to be so much more challenging for you, and I can exponentially grow you faster. So if you're not there, take the time to get yourself there because you're
Hmm.
not going to lose any time. Trust me. Like it's going to be harder to crawl from a smaller capital standpoint or from a
Yeah.
smaller credit standpoint versus
Yep.
if we get you there, don't worry, we're going to get you caught up. Don't be
Yeah.
in a hurry to go broke.
Yeah. And I like how you say that. I mean, you're gonna, you can do this without money. You could get into real estate without money. It is possible. Now, do you really need money? Yes, you do. You do need credit? Yeah, if you really want to start playing big, you're going to need that type of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's difficult nowadays to really sustain something if you don't have skin in
Yeah,
the game, or like go to learn. You got to have skin in the game, right? So it's got to, you got to be able to
yeah,
put your effort forth, and be held accountable, that type of thing.
Yeah, and I've got some programs for those. If there are an education course for those that have minimal capital, and I can teach those principles. But I think what you find is that I'm not going to leave you where I found you. I'm not going to say, okay, let me just teach you these principles. I'm going to say, wait, your credit is a 680 or your credit's a 620. Okay, you're just mismanaging your credit. Let's do some credit counseling and let me help you
Okay,
restructure
cool.
your credit. So I'm not gonna just say just because you came to me and you have a 620, I'm like, you don't have the money. No, we're gonna part of consultations
Consultation.
product consultations with me or part of getting involved in any of my education platforms comes with that assessment so that way I can see where you're at, just like I was doing before with people doing lease option programs. I'm going to look to see where you're at and where you could be, and I'm going to give you a roadmap of exactly what you need to do to get yourself there. And then while you're hanging with us during that time, you're going to be able to visually see what you're going into when you get to the other side.
Got it. Any last pearls of wisdom, advice, something you want to drop on our students or on our
Um,
listeners?
yeah, I would just say enjoy the journey, enjoy the ride, find a partner so you can enjoy those ups and downs. The key to all success is learning from your mistakes in life, period. It doesn't
Yep.
matter if it's relationships, kids, or in real estate investing. The secret sauce is in making the mistakes and learning from them. Outside of that, man, I got a book dropping soon. Flipping ain't easy. So look out for
Awesome.
that. lewishelps.com. You can get access to that. We've got the YouTube channel there for all those that want the YouTube University and learn. That's
Mhm.
Lewis_helps. Same with the IG channels and all the other social media platforms. So all the
Yep.
free game is there. It's Lewis Helps for a reason because I'm really truly here to help people out and leave them better than I found them.
God bless you, man. I love the way you approach things. I love your mindset on that. And we'll put all those links and all the ways to get in touch with you. Put this in the show notes so anybody listening will be able to click on. And
Beautiful.
Terrence, man, great conversation. A lot of nuggets that you dropped. I hope people that were listening here today really got a good feel of some good information. And anytime, Terrence, you want to come back on, I'd love to talk to you some more. And guys, I hope you had a great episode.
Yes, sir. Thank you so
Talk
much
to you
for
guys
having me. I
soon.
appreciate it. All right now. Peace.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.